Building your agency website the right way. Now in this module, you're going to learn how to set up and build your agency website from scratch. Now before we do get started, I do want to say it is going to be pretty easy and it's going to be a lot cheaper to learn how to do this yourself or to set up your own website, but it's also possible to outsource this website and content creation. So let's just say even if you know how to do it, or maybe you don't know how to do it and you just want to save that time, you've got some money to spend, some money to invest, you can outsource this part of creating the website, have it created for you, so you don't need to go and spend hours building it and writing content and that sort of thing, and it's just going to save you a lot of time so you can focus on ranking it or even outsource the whole process. And the easiest way to do this, we always use a site called Upwork.com. It's basically just a huge freelancing website. There's a lot of these, but if you go there and you type in something like WordPress web design freelancers, you will get literally hundreds of web designers you can choose from. They all range from between $20 to $40 per hour. I think personally $25 to $30 per hour is a reasonable rate, and since you're working with WordPress, it's pretty easy to get a theme on there, so you shouldn't need more than 10 to 12 hours of work to get a very nice custom website designed, which is about $300 to $350. The same goes for content. So your website is going to need some articles, it's going to need some content to be able to start ranking. Now of course you can go and write this content yourself, but again, maybe you don't enjoy writing, maybe you want to save that time. It is pretty time consuming to go and write 1,000-word articles or 500-word articles. Again, it can be outsourced. Go to Upwork, type in freelance writers, and again you can search by many filters, by many factors. So you can choose if you only want native writers from the United States to avoid, having terrible grammar and bad content from non-native English speakers. Just select your filter as the United States or the United Kingdom or Canada, Australia, that sort of thing, and you can find writers. So for example here, Jennifer, she's willing to write for $5.56 per hour. So basically she should be able to write an article, like a good quality article, for less than $10. And personally I outsource all my article writing, especially for these kind of sites, because it's simply not worth my time to go and write those articles. But if you want to save money and you want to do it yourself, you can, of course. If you want to outsource it, go ahead and find some freelance writers. So as I said, the estimated cost for outsourcing an entire site with content, so that's getting the theme and the site set up, designed for you with a custom design, and having content, it's going to cost you between $500 and $1,000. So that is a little bit pricey, but if you do have a business or you are able to afford that and you want to save yourself, maybe 10, 12 hours, then you can go and do that. And I'm just giving you this as an option. It's absolutely not necessary to outsource it. So when you build your own website, let's say you set up the site yourself and you make it look like that, and you only outsource the content. So this is kind of a compromise. So you're not going to go and spend on the web design, you'll save the money there, but you can save on writing the content. Then it shouldn't cost you more than $150 to $200, but it's going to save you a lot of time in writing. So I do suggest that you at least outsource the content, simply to save yourself a lot of time. So here is how to set up your own agency website to be able to save yourself on those costs. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to decide on a domain name. I'm not going to show you how to register a domain name in this video. If you do need further help with that, there will be further links and instructions on this page or in this course. So a domain name, you just want something simple. So for example, with SERPshake, we just chose the name SERPshake because SERP stands for Search Engine Results Page, and we want to shake up those results, and it's a very brandable name. So you can of course go for something like singaporeseo.com.sg, but again, it's probably better to stay away from exact match domains and find something brandable, create some sort of agency name website. Then what you want to go and do, if you don't already have website hosting, go and get yourself some hosting. You can get shared website hosting for less than $5 a month, sometimes even $1 a month. Again, I'm not going to show you how to do that in this tutorial. If you do need more help with that, there will be links and further training for that throughout this course. Step number 3 is to install WordPress. So you have your domain name, you have your hosting, go ahead and install WordPress. Your host can do that for you, or you can do it yourself if you want to know how to do that. I would suggest, if you don't know how to do it, just simply send an email to your hosting provider and tell them to install WordPress on your domain, and they will get that done for you. Step number 4, this is where you choose the theme, and the theme is basically how your website is going to look. When you're starting out, or you're on a budget, you don't want to spend too much money, a free WordPress theme will do just fine. There are literally thousands of free WordPress themes that you can use and install that look nice and that even look professional. They will work just fine. If you do have some money to spend and you want to buy a theme, there's 2 themes that we like to use that we recommend. One is called Dover for WordPress, and the other one is called BE Theme. They're both available on a site called themeforest.net. So Dover is very easy to customize. You got different versions of the headers, shortcodes, social media support, different sliders, that sort of thing. It costs $54, and then you can use it for yourself. It's also optimized for SEO, which is pretty nice. Then we have BE Theme. What I like about BE Theme is it's kind of a framework, so it allows you to choose between 210 different websites. So you buy this for $59, and you have 210 pre-built website styles that you can just click on for all different sorts of purposes, and it's just very useful and easy to work with. And like I said, both can be purchased from themeforest.net. Now let's get to step number 5, which is the pages you need to create on your website and the content. So the first step is to create these essential pages. Google looks for these, you need to have them. So that's quite simply an About Us page where you write about your agency. It doesn't really matter too much what you write there. You just need to have this page. You need to have a Contact Us page, so some way for someone to get in touch with you with either a contact form, an email, phone number, something like that. You need to have a privacy page, so just create a page with a privacy policy and then create a disclaimer page. I will add some resources below this video where you can get templates for privacy and disclaimer policies. Now for the content of your website, what I recommend is that you have at least 10 pages of unique content. Of those 10 pages, you want at least 3 of them to contain 1,000 words, and then the remaining 7 or 7 to 10, if you're going to go for 13 pages, just write those with 500 words of content. Now this needs to be 100% unique content. It cannot be spun, it cannot be copied from somewhere else, and the more content you have on your site, the better it is going to be. Now there's a special way that we create pages and that we write our content. So what you want to do is you want to break your content pages into similar keyword groups. Now what this means, and let's just take an example here. For example, we're going to build a website around lawyer marketing. Now what we're not going to do, and you don't want to do this, you're not going to make a separate page for lawyer marketing, attorney marketing, and legal firm marketing. Those are 3 keywords: lawyer, attorney, and legal firm. They are 3 keywords that essentially mean the same thing, and Google knows this. So if you're going to go and create a page for lawyer marketing, for attorney marketing, and legal firm marketing, you have 3 separate pages for that. Google can see it. It doesn't make sense, and it looks like you're trying to game the system, you're trying to do SEO. It's not how it works. What you want to do is you want to make one page for lawyer, attorney, and legal firm marketing. You can work all those keywords into one single page, one piece of content, and that piece of content will be able to rank for all 3 of those keywords. You'll go and make one page for lawyer, attorney, legal firm, SEO. You go make one for lawyer or attorney, paid traffic management. So again, you're making the pages here based around the different types of services or different type of keywords, which is, for example, marketing, SEO, traffic management. But you're not building pages based around the individual synonyms like lawyer, attorney, legal firm. And that is what you want to do for all of your pages of your content. So you want to make these group pages, and you want to have between 10 and 13 of these pages of content. So like we said over here, 3 times 1,000 words and 7 to 10 of 500 words. And you're going to use the Google keyword tool like we showed you earlier in the earlier videos, how to get those keywords and how to be able to make those groups. Now, when you're starting out, those 10 to 13 pages of initial content, that's what you need to get the site up and running, and that is good enough to start with. But what you want to do eventually is you want to aim to add literally dozens of pages and dominate your entire industry. So we're not just going to go for lawyer marketing. We're going to go for every kind of lawyer SEO that's available. We're going to make a page and target divorce lawyer SEO, real estate lawyer SEO, criminal defense lawyer SEO, personal injury lawyer SEO. Every type of lawyer we're going to go and make a page for. So the site that we build becomes an incredible authority based around lawyer SEO and lawyer marketing. And we cover every single keyword and aspect of that industry so that we're going to rank highly and we're going to dominate the entire industry and get a ton of leads. So that's what you want to aim for in the long run with any site that you're building in any industry that you're going for. Step number 6 is to optimize your on-site SEO. And on-site SEO just basically means to have your website and the way it's structured and the way it's built as efficient as possible for Google to be able to determine where it's going to rank. So the easiest way to check how your on-site SEO is set up is to run your site through an audit tool. Now we will give you a checklist of certain things to be able to see how your on-site SEO is doing, but basically there's a lot of free audit tools that allow you to do this, and they will give you suggestions on what to change on your website. So basically what you do is you go to Google and you type in something like free on-site SEO audit tool, and you can see here there's SEO Optimer, found.co.uk, SEO auditor, my site auditor. There's so many of them. So then what you do is you go to one of these sites. So for example, here I chose SEO Optimer, and actually you want to use 2 or 3 just to get enough different suggestions. You simply put your website through that, and it's going to return a report. So it's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. You might need to change your page title, your meta descriptions, your keywords, add image tags, add alt tags, different headlines, keyword densities, that sort of thing. So basically this stuff is going to tell you exactly what you need to do if you need to make major changes to your website to optimize it so that you're going to be able to rank well in Google. And on-site SEO is a very important part. It's at least 50% of getting your ranking. So it's important to have that right. An analogy maybe you could relate to is just basically like having your website is your car, right? The backlinks that push the car, they're the fuel that goes inside the tank. So you need both the fuel and the car to be able to move forward. But if your car has flat tires, it's not going to go very far. So the on-site SEO is basically ensuring that your car is in perfect running condition. The tires are ready. You know, it's the steering's working, the suspension's working, everything like that, so that the backlinks, which is the fuel, can push your car forward efficiently and you can get that ranking. So like I said, once you've run your website through these free tools, simply just apply these SEO audit tools suggested changes and improvements to your website, and your on-site SEO will be near perfect and good enough to get those rankings. Now, let's move on to the next module, module 3, to learn how to rank your website at the top of Google. And this is the fun part, and this is the part where you start to make progress and will start making money.